Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah, and I am excited to have you here because you could have been anywhere else. So I appreciate it that you decided to join us today. Great evening, Sean. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Hello, Dan. Thank you for tuning in. Well, this is another segment of Let's Talk About It. But first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for all of your likes, comments, and shares. Please keep them coming. Make sure that you have liked my Build Your Best Life Facebook page. A lot of you have liked my personal page, and so I don't see the comments when I'm on here. And you are... when I'm on, I can't see your comments if you've liked my personal page and not my Build Your Best Life page. So I would like to be able to recognize you. So please make sure that you like the Build Your Best Life Facebook page, as well as subscribe to my YouTube page. But again, thank you so much for tuning in for another segment of Let's Talk About It. I try to talk about topics on Thursdays that are relevant, that are trending, that you want to hear about. So today, the topic that I've come up with, I think, is that you will agree that it is one that is needed, is important. And I know a good number of our dads have been dads for a while, and a lot are equipped and doing what they need to do to raise their children in this 21st century. However, a lot of times you don't know what you don't know. So today I'm just going to give you some little attributes of a good dad, some attributes of a good dad. But, the family structure has undergone drastic, and I mean drastic changes over the past 100 years. More than 23 million children, 23 million, live in a single parent home in the United States just in the United States, 23 million. So we're just dropping the bucket when you look at the whole entire world. So just think about how many children that is. So that 23 million represents, to give you a better feel on that, is like 1 in every 3 children. So within single parent homes, 14.3 million live in mother-only households. And then 3.5 million live in father-only households. So again, that is a lot. So I thought, this month is all about dads, and we're going to hopefully be wishing our dads happy Father's Day, and it's time to give that extra love and recognition to our fathers. But I wanted to give some attributes. So if we think about raising, whether you're a mom or a dad, raising children 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you have to use different tools than you have to use today. Our children are different. They're different generations. They are born in times of different things going on in the world. Just think if you had a child 10 years ago, your child's 10 years old, they didn't live through the pandemic. But if you have a child that you had 2020, 21, 22, then hey, they've lived in a time of a pandemic. So those two lives, even though they're not, you look at it, they're not that far apart, you're going to see some differences. So it is important to stay relevant on what children think today and what makes them feel the way that we want our children to feel, right? So that's why I thought this would be a good topic. Great evening, Agnes, Tanya. Thank you for tuning in. Now, the first attribute of a good father that I want to talk about today is patience. Patience. And that was one thing I used to always say, I don't have patience, I don't have patience, and I'm going to pray for patience, until one day a lady told me, no, you don't want to pray for patience. And I was like, well, why? Because I'm not patient. She said, because think about it. You're praying for patience because you don't have any, but how can you, if you pray for patience, then you're going to have all these things coming at you because you're going to have to grow and learn to be patient. So don't pray for it. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. But we do need to have more patience with our children today. Remember, when you were growing up, if you are my age or 20, 30, 40 years younger than I am, when you were coming up, you couldn't dare say anything if your parent was talking. Today, that's the norm. They're going to get in that conversation. It's not that they're trying to be disrespectful. That's just the way our children are. They're going to get in there and they're going to have that conversation with you. That's what they do. So you have to have the patience to understand, hey, this child is not being sassy. They're not being disrespectful. They're trying to have one-on-one communication with me. So as long as they're not, getting loud, saying something they're not supposed to, I got to understand. Kids are different. I've got to have that patience. I've got to do some changing to work with them. I've got to stop and take a breath. If you work a 9 to 5, if you own your own business, whatever you do during the day, before you step in that house or that child gets into your vehicle, if you're picking them up, you may have to take a breath, readjust yourself, forget about all the things that you've had to deal with during the day, because that's not their fault. They didn't ask to be here. They have nothing to do with how your day went, but they need you to be all in with them. And if they had a rough day, they need you to be able to look at them and think, oh, something's not quite right with my child. If they begin to have that conversation, they don't sound right. I gotta, wait and listen and see if they'll say something. If not, we're gonna have a crucial conversation a little later on today because something's not right with my child. So one of the attributes we want our dads to have is that patience. Hello, Peggy. Thank you for tuning in. Glad to see you, sis. The second one is acceptance. Acceptance. Accept them for who they are. If you're a dad and you have a son and you have a love for basketball, you play basketball, you may have been a college player, you may have been a pro, and you have a son, so now you want your son to follow in your footsteps. Your son may not even be able to walk in a straight line. He may not have been in the line when God was giving out basketball skills. Accept him or her for who they are. If they don't have the abilities or skill or can't learn the skills to do that thing that you would just love for them to do that would just make you happy. You ran track, you want them to run track, you want them to be another Bob Hayes. You can't do that. That puts additional pressure on them because you want them to be something that they're not. So, of course, they love you, they will try their best, they'll just do anything. But let's think about it. It has to be frustrating for them. One, that they cannot please you. Two, that you think that they should be able to run or jump or play tennis or swim or whatever it is that you want them to do, and they can't do it. So they are thinking that they are failure, and you don't want them to do that. So you have to accept them for the gifts and skills that they have. So, hey, they may not be athletic, but they may be the best techie person that's been around in the last 20 years. And hey, that's where it is today. Silicon Valley, doing those things with computers. I get a new iPhone and I'm trying to around here thinking, wonder why that's not working anymore. Well, that's not that right ringtone. What, Deborah, you got a new phone. You got to go in there and tell the phone what ringtones you want to go with what person. You got to add your ultra ring to it. It was something that wasn't working. And I was like, well, I can't figure that out. What's going on? I had to tell my new phone that I had this thing over here that it didn't know I had. No, it's a smartphone, but it's not smarter than me. So, just have that acceptance with your son and your daughter. Have that attribute that they need for you to have. Okay? And if you've just joined today, I'm here. I know you're accustomed to seeing two ladies on Thursdays. Let's talk about it. It's usually a team discussion, but I'm here today by myself, but I think I can handle it. And the topic is attributes for a good dad, And it's not, Coach Deborah is the know-all for dads. I'm not a dad, but I do research. Some of the classes or what I had to study when I was in college and my human services classes. I know some of this stuff, but I know how to raise a son, and I have grandkids, and I know some of the things that they're looking for and what makes them happy. And I definitely know that they are different because my grandkids are different than my kids. And there's an age span in my kids, like a 17 age span from the oldest to the youngest. And those two are different. And they're in, what is my oldest son? I don't even remember, but I have a millennium, and I have one that's older than that. So they're just different. So I know that there are some things that we have to make sure that we're doing because we want our kids to be successful. So the next one I want to talk about is encouragement. We like to sit around and say, okay, I need you to bring those grades up. I need you to do this. And they may come in there and they may have a C in that math. And then you'll say, C? How dare you bring a C in here? You can do better than a C. You're not a dummy. What are you doing in school? Okay. Well, what did they have last 9 weeks? That's what we do here in Florida. So I'm saying 9 weeks. What did they have last 9 weeks? Did they have a D? Did they have an F? They've improved. So instead of you pounding on them about why they don't have an A or a B, what about encouraging them that, hey, wow, you brought your grade up. That's great. Just keep up the good work. Keep studying. If there's a concept that you don't understand, let me know. If I'm not able to help you, I'll make sure that we find someone that can assist you, even if I have to pay a tutor. But I want to make sure that you understand. If The teacher may be able to give you extra work. But I really admire you for taking the initiative to study harder and ask for extra work, and you have brought that grade up. That's wonderful. When they go out in the morning, encourage them. You might have had a couple words the day before. Hey, the room might be dirty that morning, but before you part ways, just want to tell you, have a great day. Do your best. That's all you can do is your best, but do your best. I love you. I know you can succeed. Be safe. Make wise decisions. Have fun. But you have to encourage them. Don't let them go out to this cold, mean, cruel world. And yes, the world can be cruel at times. And the only thing they can think in their minds is, my dad didn't give me a hug. My dad didn't give me a high five. My dad didn't say having a great day. My dad didn't encourage me. And I have a track meet today. My dad didn't even say, I hope you do well. And instead of them in that class concentrating on that work, they're thinking about what you didn't say. You ever think about that? If you got something to say, put it in the comments. I would love to hear your comments. Because like I said, I am not the expert here. Jocelyn, Cleo, I am not the expert. Deacon Holmes, I'm not the expert. But if we put our minds together and we share information that we have, we can all do a better job. So if you have some comments or something that will help us, put it in the comments. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for tuning in today. All right, let's keep it moving. The next one, honesty and integrity. Now, earlier, I said that our children today are so different than we were. And remember, if you're from my time, now I'm a baby boomer. I just put it out there. I'm a baby boomer. So my time, those that came after me, 10, 20, 30 years after me, if your parents said something, that's what you had to do. You can give them any lip or whatever, and they could be drinking till the sun go down, get up the next morning drinking, cussing, smoking. But if they told you to do something, you better do it. Today, it is different. They can do all that if they want to and sit there and tell the kids, you better not drink. Drinking is not for minors. You better not smoke. You better not cuss. You better not do this. You better not do that. You can tell them all day long. They follow what they see. So yes, you're taking care of them and you can threaten them, but they model the behavior that they see. So a good dad, a couple attributes that you have is honesty and integrity, because you want your kids to always be honest, whether they're going to get in trouble, whether somebody's going to catch them, slipping or whatever. You want your child to be honest. I know I do. I'll take honesty over anything. If you tell me I went in that store and I was hungry and I had lost my lunch money and I stole whatever, I appreciate you being honest, first and foremost. So I'm not going to kill you like I would have killed you if I found out on my own that you stole something. Now, I'm going to tell you that it's not right to steal. I'm going to make you go back to that store and we're going to pay for it. But because you were honest, whole different ball game. So dads, be honest, have integrity, be the model for your children. I can't say that enough. Be honest, be honest, be honest. Because if we're looking at the news today, and I'm not going to call any names, but what's this big trial is in the news today, what's done in the dark is going to come to light. So you can hide it for years and years and years. But when it pops out, it's worse than it would have been if you had told the truth years ago. So be honest and show integrity. The next one, Be a good role model. And some of all of this encompasses that. But be a good role model. As I stated, our children, they model us. And if anybody say, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, my kid better do what I say. Put some video cameras up in your house, in your car, and I'll bet you our kids model what they see. Just look at some of your grandkids that don't know any better. What do they say? What little gestures and stuff do they do? What they see Nana and Granddaddy do, what they see Mommy do, what they see Daddy do, right? Because they model what they see. What kind of role model are you? You don't have to tell Coach Deborah. You don't have to tell your buddies at work. You don't have to tell your friends on the golf course. You don't have to tell the ladies in the restroom. Look in the mirror. What type of role model are you? So if you see your child cutting up somewhere, what do? Just hold your head down. It's like, they saw me doing that. And it's so funny. I have to be transparent. I kind of like wear my feelings on my sleeves, so I can be easily hurt or take offense to something someone says. So someone, they may say something that's not nice, and maybe the average person would just, whatever, maybe they're having a bad day, but I'll take it to heart and it'll hurt my feelings. And I hear one of my sons tell me, well, so-and-so happened, and that kind of hurt my feelings. But I take that after you, Mom. Yeah, because they've seen me and seen how I react when people say certain things to me. So they do it. I've seen my grandkids react. Well, what are you doing? Because Nana said, a Nana do, but this is what my Nana do. Yeah. So whether we like it or not, they are going to model after us. So please, dads, be that good role model. If you got some bad habits, keep them to yourself. Don't do them in front of your kids. And I guess you say, well, that's not being honest if I want to hide them. Okay, but which is worse? So, if you don't want your kids just using all type language, you don't want to use it around them. If you feel like you just have to do it, I prefer you do it around your buddies at work, not your kids, because when they go to school and missing one slip out, you're going to want to kill them. So we have to be better role models. So come on, dads. I know you can do it. I am convinced that you can. I know you can. All right. This is a good one. And it's so funny. If you watch Tuesday, Derek Durden was on and he was talking about dads. And one of his nuggets that he gave out was, and I wrote it down, I don't have a book over here, but it was being present and not present. It's the presence and not the presence, something like that. But I agree with that one. And it is the PRESENCE that your children want, and not so much those PRESENTSs. Yes, they love gifts. They love them. You buy them and give them to them, they would be so happy. But if they had a choice for you to go out and buy that new game for them, drop it off, don't even come inside the door. You wanted this, here you go, and you gone. Are you taking an hour or two and say, hey, man, let's ride out? I'm going to go get a bite. And while y'all eating, y'all sit down and talk. If you want to get that gift, and that's a different, that's a different thing, that present. But they want and they need that presence. Again, all the things that are going on today in the 21st century, it's too much. It's too much. They need you. They need your presence, not every now and then, not when you feel like it, but often. If you're not in the house, it has nothing to do with it. If you're in the house, that has nothing to do with it, because when I say being present, you can be married in the house with your child and not be present because you're working 60, 70 hours a week, or you're in organizations, or you're teaching. I have two jobs, or you're coaching teams, or you're doing something else. Or when you're home, you got your head with your phone or some electronic, or in a book, or playing chess, or doing something, but you're not sitting talking to that child. That means you are not present. So you can be in the house and not present. So remember, it's your presence that they need and that they appreciate the most. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. Now they'll ask for those things, but don't let them fool you. They want your presence. Okay. And then my last one, and by no means this is the last attribute that a good dad has, but y'all know what y'all need to do. But these are just some that I think are really, really important, and I picked these out to discuss today. And so I hope that they're helping. And the last one is kindness. Kindness. Yes. Dads and sons, moms and daughters, they don't have to be best friends, BFFs. That's my best friend. That's who I hang with. That's who I drink with. That's who I do this with. That. You don't have to do all that. You can have great working. You can have great working relationships. You can have great relationships, but not to the level of you're doing the same things. If you get my drift, but show them kindness. We can respect and show our kids kindness and not have them to be disrespectful. Because as long as you are going to be respectful, we can do some things together. We're not saying that you can't have fun with your kids, you can't go to the mall, you can't do different things, but not to the point of you always saying, you're my friend. And then when it comes down to you need to be stern, they're not understanding because she trying to handle me. She always talking about we friends, we down now. She gonna try to handle me. What is wrong with her? What is wrong with him? He can't handle me. You know how you do. So it's just so helpful for the child and the parent if you treat them with kindness. They are people too. They are human too. Think about when you were a child and how your parents treated you. Sometimes they make you feel this big, that they make you feel like you were stupid, that they talk to you like you were the dumbest thing that ever, entered a room. Okay, we don't want to do that. We want to show our children that they are strong, they are important, they mean something, and they're relevant. So you have to show them kindness. They're people too. Treat them like you love them. Treat them, in that space that they're supposed to be. They are the children, but have those good attributes. And let's train up our children now so that we don't have to try to fix them later. And again, I'm Coach Deborah, and I'm not trying to beat up on our dads, but just a reminder, these are some attributes that you need to exhibit and make sure that your children know that this is how you feel. Because dads, I don't care what anybody say, you are important, you are relevant, you need to step up. If you're not where you are, you need to step up. And only you can do that. So thank you all again for tuning in. And Miss Brittany, I guess, will be here with us on next first Thursday. But I I myself enjoyed this topic, so I hope that you did as well. And I look forward to you being here on next Thursday. Well, next week, all week, because guess what? We turning up. Next week is our 2025 Men and Boys Conference. And boy, when I tell you, we are ready. Our host and the leader of this conference is none other than Coach Ricardo Miller. He's under the weather, but he is still put together a dynamite conference this year. It starts on Monday, the 9th, and it is running through Friday, the 13th. And our lineup is on Monday. Well, I'll tell you who we have on Monday, but the our lineup for next week is just dynamic. I cannot wait. These topics that they have, oh my goodness, you talking about hot. They are hot. But on Monday, we're going to have Dr. Glenn Davis, and his topic is the blueprint of a legacy leader, building what will outlive you. Wow. I mean, that just sounds like it's something that you want to hear, right? The blueprint of a legacy leader, building what will outlive you. I was just talking about how we need to treat our young people. Hey, they are going to outlive us, and what legacy are we going to leave them? I can't wait. Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Central Time. Be here, be here, be here. If you missed the live, make sure that you tune in later on for the rewind on YouTube or Facebook, because you need to be back on Tuesday for our next speaker. So Dr. Glenn Davis is going to be on Monday. On Tuesday, we have Taurus King. On Wednesday, Dr. Benjamin Manu. On Thursday, Pastor Herb Ford. And closing us out on Friday, Pastor Wesley Wood. Again, a dynamite line up for next week. Be here, be here, be here. Make sure you check it out on www.buildyourbestlife.org so you make sure that you have it. Go out there, look on the calendar so you make sure that you put it on your calendar and tune in. I don't want you to miss it. I know I'm going to be front and center, ready, ready, ready. I can't believe this is the 6th year, but it is. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I enjoyed this topic. I look forward to seeing you all on next week. Remember that building your best life is our business. And guess what? That is not a slogan. It is our commitment. I love you all. Be blessed. Stay safe. Continue to pray for Coach Ricardo Miller. And I will see you on Monday. I keep saying Tuesday. I will see you Monday, June 9th. Thank you. Bye-bye.